All right. You guys are good at the back? The clock is good? I'm waiting until it becomes 10 minutes. Nope. All right. Good evening, everyone. How's it going, fam? Great. Okay. Man, it was pressure, man. The both of the people and everyone else has been awesome. So, tonight, I'm going to talk about the word identity. It's about renewed identity. How many of you guys watch this Korean Netflix called Dr. Cha? Anyone? Yeah. Only two of us? Oh, come on, man. It's okay. I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler. So, Dr. Cha, is a she, by the way. So she has been living for the past 20 years of her life under what she thinks is not part of her identity. Because she became pregnant when she was doing her internship, doing her doctor internship. So she became a full-time mother for two kids. Until something happened to her life that she is at the age of the death, on the verge of death, because of liver transplant. And she decided that, hey, if I survive this thing, I'm gonna go back to residency and I'm gonna become a doctor and specialize in something, and I'm just gonna do it. So that's what happened. So she's 54 or 55 years old. So she came back to work again in the medical industry after receiving a liver transplant. And she was having a hard time, like really hard time. You know what? I mean, it's not like she doesn't have it in her, but she actually has the potential. But it's the amount of the pressure that she has been receiving from all the people around her. A lot of people are talking to her that she cannot make it because she's too old. A lot of people tell her you cannot make it because it's your medical condition. People, even her husband said to her that you just stay at home and take care of the kids. It's the amount of the pressure that makes her doubt herself at times. And I can relate to that story to Dr. Cha. At times in my workplace, I can be seen as that young guy who is with position but who is immature. Maybe it's because of the way I talk, maybe because of the past failures. At times, I feel like I can doubt myself. Am I really that person? Am I really that jerk? Right? And have you ever been in that similar situation as well in your life? Whether you are adopting about yourself, whether you get your identity coming from something that might not be the real you. Maybe it's coming from your past mistakes, your past failures, or it can even be coming from your past accomplishments as well. Sometimes you can view yourself as like, hey, you overly self-glorify yourself. And that can take part of shaping your identity. Sometimes your identity might come from your childhood as well, or your trauma, or even it's part of culture. Like Asian culture, where your parents are never satisfied with A, you'll need to get A+, right? Yeah, I can relate to that. So we're gonna read about this story in Mark 5. It's about a woman who has been bleeding for 12 years, and we're gonna learn a bit on this. So Mark 5:25 to 34, it's a long verse. It says like this: and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors, and had spent all she had. Yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, if I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. Immediately, her bleeding stopped, and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, who touched my clothes? But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what happened to her, came and fell at his feet and trembling with fear, told him the whole truth. And he said to her, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. The lady has been bleeding for 12 years. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. It's already painful enough to do it once every month, right? Right? Come on, ladies. Let me talk to the guys. Guys, you know how your wives or your girlfriend can be needy and moody and cranky at times? At times, right? During that time of the month. You know what I'm talking about? And during this time, all that they need is what I call is TLC. It's called tender loving care, right? Right? But with this lady is she has been bleeding for 12 years. She has no one that gives that tender loving care towards her. Because in the Bible it says that she is not clean because of her bleeding. So for 12 years, when she is not clean, she is outcasted. No one wants to be her friend or her husband or whatever it is. She's outcasted by the community. You can read it by yourself on the Leviticus 15. So everything that she touches becomes unclean. And that is, she's been living in an identity where she has so much pressure coming in. But the beautiful part about this verse is that the unclean meets the clean one. The unclean touch the cloak of Jesus, and instantly she becomes clean. The unclean meets the clean to turn her to become clean as white as snow, and she is freed from her suffering. And wait for it. That's not the key takeaway that I want you to go away with tonight. There's even a beautiful miracle that happened on that scene. Is that she goes back with a renewed identity. You know why? Because when Jesus was looking for this person, Jesus was like, hey, who's the person? And then the lady who's been bleeding, she said like, it's me, Jesus. One word that Jesus said to her is that she said, daughter. She said, daughter. And it's only one time in the Bible that the word daughter ever mentioned. And it's towards this lady who has been outcasted for 12 years. I believe that lady, that night, she does not walk away with all her new pains released, but she walks away with a renewed identity, which is becoming the daughter. And I believe the same for each one of us as well. Our identity as the son or as the daughter of the King, of the Lord, of Jesus Christ, it comes first before all of our failures, before all of our achievements, before all of our different identities, because those identities have to submit to the identity of us becoming the son and the daughter of Jesus Christ. So the next time when you go walk out there, whether it's in your job or your communities, you're gonna walk in faith, right? You're gonna walk in grace. You're gonna speak in power. Because you are the son of the Most High. You're the daughter of the King. And that is His identity towards you. Amen, people? Amen. That's it from me. I hope you guys are blessed.